So at this point in the offseason, reality's starting to set in, and it's not far-fetched to assume that Sam Darnold will get the first shot at being the starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers for the 2022-2023 season. Now, how did we get here? You guys know the trade, the second, fourth, the sixth, the guaranteeing the fifth-year option as soon as they signed him, and he didn't play that great. Some injuries, offensive line didn't play great either. Now we're stuck with him. For all intents and purposes, even though we drafted Matt Corral in the third round, Sam Darnold will be the guy. Nevertheless, he will be on the hot seat, and he will have a shot at another offensive coordinator in his career. It's got to be total up to, 4 or 5 in his 5 years in the league. Yes, that can hamper a guy's growth, but Ben McADoo has experience with some established quarterbacks. He's been around the league a little bit. He's had his time being offensive coordinator, being head coach, being position coaches. He's been to the top, been to the bottom. This guy's been all over the place. I think these could be a match made in heaven. Ben McAdoo and his effect on this offense. So in this video, we're going to go into a little bit of detail about a couple reasons why I think Ben McAdoo can help save, quote unquote, Sam Darnold and pretty much this offense as a whole. We're starting right now. What up, though? My name is Aaron Duncan here with the Necessary Blunt, the sports talk, do recap and analysis of the Carolina Panthers. So if you want to see more videos about the team as we get started going, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and the bell icon. That way you get a notification every time I drop a video. But let me know down below in the comments. I got a question. How do you guys feel about the hiring of Ben McAdoo, and how confident do you feel in his ability to get the best out of what we have at the quarterback and the offense as a whole? Let me know down below in the comments. So the first way I think Ben McAdoo can have an impact and help save and rescue Sam Darnold and his offense is he's going to provide structure and solid fundamentals. Okay, now let me get into this a little bit. Ben McAdoo is a West Coast offense-based coach and offensive coordinator, at least the last time we saw him up in New York. Obviously, times have changed. It's been about, 5-6 years since he was the head coach. So maybe some philosophy could have changed, could have picked up some stuff in the RPO game. He spent some time in Dallas and stuff like that. So I'm sure he's picked up some other concepts. Nevertheless, he's based in West Coast offense. And the way West Coast offenses work, it's all about timing. It's all about quick drops. It's all about rhythm. It's all about going through certain progressions as you take certain drops and figuring out, okay, hey, if this guy's here, that means there. By the time I get to my second or third step, I should be looking here, or if it's not there, go to this guy. So it's all kind of process-oriented type of reads and structure. That way that the quarterback, yes, you do make some breakdowns, and obviously you have to read defenses, but it's not a lot more, it's not as much opportunity to color outside the lines for a quarterback. And this could be something that I think Sam Darnold could need, because what we've heard from this offseason is the footwork is what gets him in trouble. I have some clips about Sam Darnold talking about his footwork and Matt Rule. I'll play them right now.
I think when you look at areas when he's struggled, when he's gotten pressure on his feet, have kind of gotten a little antsy, that's when he's, not played. So wanting him to play with great rhythm and balance are things that I think he has to do anyway. And things obviously we tried to do last year and just didn't quite accomplish to the level we want. Ben coming in sort of with more of a West Coast mindset at the quarterback position, switching his foot, asking him to take a punch step. It's very similar to kind of what I think he needs no matter what he's in, but it is very similar. It is very tied into the offense and the timing component of this offense, getting him to play a little faster, but also getting him to play in rhythm and on balance, keeping his weight on his back foot, not letting him, start to get out of whack. So I think if we can continue to develop those things with all of our quarterbacks.
As you can see, footwork is it. Bad footwork equals bad accuracy, which equals turnovers. Sam Darnold gets those happy feet. They start getting to, what is it called? Chaotic, I guess, in the pocket. They start pitter-pattering. He starts pump faking, and then he ends up trying to run around and force something. You want to take that away from Sam Darnold. You want to make him go through his read. If it's not there, check it down, whether it's the CMC or Chuba or whoever is in at running back at the opportunity. You want him to get through his reads quick, go through his footwork, stay tight, and get rid of the football. Don't mess around. This offense is West Coast. Is based on timing, quick passes. Get the ball out of your hands. Get it to your playmakers. Allow your playmakers to make plays after the catch in space. McAdoo is all about the fundamentals. They said on the first day of minicamp, they had them jumping rope, working on their footwork, going through bags, working on certain keys and stuff like that. Footwork is key. And if this is something that Sam Darnold struggles, maybe this is something him, Sean Ryan, the quarterback coach, and Ben McAdoo can put in the system and bring everything together. That way, there's not really, like I said, a lot of room for him to freelance in this offense, and it forces him to play within the system and not play and do too much. The second way I think Ben McAdoo can help this offense, and Sam Darnold in particular, is to speed up the tempo to keep defenses off balance. So when Ben McAdoo became the offensive coordinator for the New York Giants in 2014, this was something that he brought to Eli Manning. A lot of the times they were pretty methodical, just kind of ran the ball, ground and pound, play defense, but they were able to speed up the tempo, and that way you give the quarterback a chance to take advantage of the personnel and the defense that's out there, call plays at the line of scrimmage. The defense can't get really too complicated. They have to be pretty vanilla and plain. That way it makes the reads easy for the quarterback. It keeps the defense scrambling and off balance, and you stay and you attack. Instead of waiting for something to happen and you read the defense and take what they give you, you're staying on the prowl and staying on the attack. This is a change of pace from what Joe Brady did. Joe Brady was typically always up against the play clock when it comes to procedure-wise of getting the play in, getting the play call, making checks at the line of scrimmage, and we rarely ever ran no huddle outside of the 2-minute scenario. When it comes to Ben McAdoo, he's on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, and the numbers support it. So let's look at some of the impact that he had on the Giants when he became the offensive coordinator. So he became the offensive coordinator in 2014, and according to NFL Savant, in that 2013 season before he got there, the New York Giants only ran no huddle 5% of the time, which was only 15th ranked in the league. Middle of the pack, pretty average. But the following year in 2014, that number went from 5% all the way up to 32%, which was second in the league. That is a big jump. And after that, they put in even more no huddle. So in 2015, they ended up running no huddle 46% of the time, which was second in the league, only behind Chip Kelly, whose offense didn't huddle at all. We know the fast-paced Oregon-style offense that he brought from the college ranks to the pros. So they were only second in the league in tempo and no huddle behind that college type of offense. So that's telling you how much no huddle this team actually did. That's a big difference to go from 5% to 46% within a matter of 2 years. I think this is something that is a good element of this style of offense that can really help make things playing on the quarterback, lets him call certain plays, get into a certain rhythm at the line of scrimmage, let him pick out what he likes in certain plays and put in certain packages there. And like I said, it keeps the defense off balance and you attack, attack, attack. And the last way I think that Ben McAdoo can really help this offense and Sam Darnold in general is because he has experience with a high turnover quarterback. Yes, I'm talking about Eli Manning. If you look at the numbers, it's pretty much undeniable Ben McAdoo's effect on Eli Manning at that certain point. 2 out of the 3 years that he was with him as the offensive coordinator, Eli had career highs in touchdown passes, yards per game, and attempts. And he cut down his interceptions from 27 in 2013, the year before, to 14 the following year, 14 that other year, and 16 in McAdoo's last year as the offensive coordinator. That's cutting his interceptions in half. That is lovely, especially from a guy like Eli Manning, who's a gunslinger. And if you can help cut that down for Sam Darnold also, that can help put the team in a lot of better positions to win games. We know last year, some games was very close. We just happened to get points away. I'm thinking of that Patriots game where we were doing okay, doing in pretty decent spot. The defense was balling on the Patriots, but a pick in the red zone is a huge swing. You're talking about taking at least 3 points off the board and giving the other team 6 when Sam Darnold threw an interception to J.C. Jackson and he ran the ball the other way. That's at least a 9-point swing. Easily could be 13 or 12 or whatever, depending on if the Panthers scored a touchdown. So you go from throwing red zone interception to giving a touchdown the other way. That pretty much lost the game at that point. 1 or 2 plays every game is typically what happened that got Sam Darnold in trouble. So if we can cut down those interceptions, hell, even in half, just like Eli Manning, that would be amazing. Obviously, working up in New York, Odell Beckham Jr. makes a lot of quarterbacks better, and he had record-setting years coming out his first couple years in the league, so that definitely helps. But I feel like the Panthers overall have a lot more talent than those Giant teams, and there's a lot more balance at the wide receiver position between DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Terrace Marshall, and obviously we have Christian McCaffrey in the backfield, and there's a lot of things to work with that Ben McAdoo can really do and spread the ball around. He was a proponent of spreading the ball around, using multiple running backs up there with Andre Williams, Maya Bradshaw, Shane Vereen. It's a beautiful thing that Ben McAdoo did up there, and being able to take a guy like Eli Manning, who he'll probably be a Hall of Famer, but obviously is one of the turnover kings in the NFL, and kind of whipping him into shape and getting career numbers out of a guy that played almost 20 years in the league. That's saying a lot of things for a guy like Ben McAdoo. And I feel confident in him because of his background working with these type of guys. He was with the Cowboys last year, being their offensive assistant at certain point, working with Dak. Obviously spent some time in Jacksonville and then obviously the Giants time that he had. So he's been around the block a little bit, but I think he knows a thing or two. And I think giving him another opportunity to finally call plays, it could be a good thing. Hopefully he learned a lot of that stuff and he gets into that rhythm. Joe Brady didn't have much experience calling plays. He climbed the coaching ranks very quickly, and it didn't work out. Obviously, he ended up being the sacrificial lamb last year. Now, I know it's another coordinator for Sam Darnold, but I think Ben McAdoo's effects will be tremendous based on the things that I discussed in this video. So let me know down below in the comments, how do you feel about Ben McAdoo after some of the stuff and the stats that I pointed out? And do you think he can kind of whip Sam into shape and get Matt Corral ready to make an impact on this team this year? Let me know down below in the comments how you feel about Ben McAdoo and this offense overall. But without further ado, my name is Aaron Duncan here with the Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date on all the videos and updates from the Carolina Panthers. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.